Welcome back to all our friends, family, and yes, even our foes. To the Foxx Den Sports Podcast, where Todd and his sports-passionate kids are ready to bring you the latest updates and insights on all things sports. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Now, here are your hosts, Kellen, Garrett, Gannon, and coming to you from the Foxx Den, their dad, Todd Foxx.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Foxx Den Sports Podcast, along with Kellen and Clay McDonald. I'm Todd Foxx. We got a lot to discuss today. It has been a few weeks, unfortunately, since we were able to get together. Unfortunately, I had a little bout with pneumonia that I had to get over. A little touch and go there for a while, but hey, I'm still around, so that's all that matters.
Can you
but
spell pneumonia?
Let's talk a little bit about a few things. Here's what I want to talk about tonight. I know a little bit about Oklahoma Sooners. The main thing I want to talk about is Jim Knowles not coming to Oklahoma. I know there's a lot of rumors out there that he was coming. I want to talk some Oklahoma City Thunder, some NFL playoffs, and then, of course, my final fun questions at the end. But let's talk about it. Let's talk about Jim Knowles. So you guys obviously know, did a great job with Oklahoma State. Then he went on to Ohio State. And I just didn't – me personally, I never thought it was a legit deal that he was coming here. But from everything, on Twitter and all these other, places, people that I know that are in the know, it was more of a possibility of him coming to Oklahoma. I was not expecting that at all. The main reason why is why would Brent Venables give up any kind of, play calling duties on defense? It's because they have a different style of defense, and it was just weird to me to even think that. Also, why would Jim Knowles, in my opinion, why would he come to Oklahoma? Brent Venables he is coaching for his job, right? So it never did match up with me. What about you, Clay? What did you think?
At first I was like, yeah, there's no way for the exact same reasons. But then anytime something like that takes a while, and I think it would have gone a lot faster if Ohio State wasn't playing, but they were playing. So you're like, man, seems to be gaining some traction here. Knowles did never completely deny it in his press conference, which who knows, that doesn't really probably mean a whole lot. Coaches say whatever they need to or want to, but I thought it keeps going. So I'm thinking, man, this might actually be a thing.
Yeah, I know, and I know Stoops made comments, which I thought was very interesting. How Bob Stoops even said, "Hey, yeah, if he comes here, huge addition," which it would be. I'm not saying it wouldn't, right? Because it would be huge if he would have come here. But for him not to come is ridiculous. I do know there's just been a lot of crazy speculation and things as to why he didn't come. From what I've got some, my opinion is truth behind the whole deal as to why he didn't come. But what's weird is, I know he got $3.1 million from Penn State. Sounds like to me Oklahoma offered $3 million, as did Notre Dame, which I had no idea Notre Dame was even involved in this. And then we had Ohio State coming in at $2.75 million a year, which is obviously when you have the top defense in the country. I mean, and then you've got other schools offering more. It doesn't make any sense. But I believe from everything I'm seeing, they didn't want him to come to the celebration, which didn't make any sense to me. They were saying, and I say I'm talking about Ohio State, did not want him at the what am I trying to say? The championship parade of some sorts. And Jim Knowles even asked, hey, well, can I come and just, shake hands and, play nice. I don't know if that's actual verbiage, but be there and shake hands, smile and do his thing. And they didn't want him there. They were going to lock him out, from what it sounded like. And he decided to make a jump. And from what it sounds like to me, I don't know. Again, I've read a few things that there's a guy, defensive line coach named Larry Johnson. Don't know him. I know his son played NFL for the Chiefs. That was the main thing he was known for. And then I think he tore up his knee. But he did not get along with Knowles. That's not coming from Knowles. That's coming from just people that I've read and attached myself with, but didn't really get along with Coach Knowles, Larry Johnson, then I guess Ryan Day. They didn't get along either, from what it sounds like. I don't know. I wasn't there. But also the fact that after the Oregon game, they were trying to say that they were not running. I guess they weren't running his defense near as much. They wanted him to change it up. So, but once he started taking over fully for his defense, which makes sense, you're the defense coordinator, then they start rolling. And I mean, and this team rolled all the way. I mean, granted, they had the hiccup against Michigan, but they still won the national title, and which is fantastic for those guys. I know I was trying to get a couple Buckeye fans on here just to see kind of what their thought process was. But anyway, I just know from what it sounds like to me, he was not treated properly by the Ohio State up and ups, or whatever you want to call them, the big guys. So I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on that, Clay.
You know, I know after the Michigan game, man, every Ohio State fan wanted Knowles and Day gone.
Yeah,
get rid of them. They're terrible. They can't win anything, and so you know. That's the bad thing is you lose. You have a 6-7 season. Everybody wants you gone. If you lose one game to the number one team and a team to your rival, everybody wants you gone. But then you end up winning the national championship. But yeah, it's interesting because if the playoffs hadn't expanded this year, Day and Knowles might have been fired because they wouldn't have made the playoffs, and they definitely wouldn't have won it.
Right.
And because what were they, 8 seed? So the expansion saved their jobs there. You know, it sounds like to me that Knowles was just going to go where he felt happiest because, you know, I mean, 2.75 to 3.1, you know, to me and you, or to somebody making that much money, it probably doesn't mean a whole lot. To me and you, it's a lot. But if it's, so it sounds like he just wanted to go where he was going to be happiest. And I mean, looks like the two places he was debating between was Oklahoma, where his fiance lives, or Philadelphia, or Pennsylvania, where he used to live.
Yeah, he used to live, right.
And so he just chose the highest bidder, but $100,000 is not that much money. So
no,
I would have think it had a lot to do with the stability of Penn State compared to OU right now.
Right,
and,
coaching.
And then the fact that he's going to get to run his own defense there compared to what he's going to get to do here. So I think there's no doubt Knowles wanted out, and
for sure,
for whatever reason it is. But I think he wanted out.
Yeah, and it sounds like there was some internal things going on. I'm not reporting anything. I'm just saying that's just what I'm hearing. I know there's probably some people listening to us for the first time, seeing my Oklahoma background, going, "Why are you talking about Ohio State?" Well, it's just because it was an interesting story, and it was a possibility of him coming here, which I never truly thought it was going to happen, but I didn't realize maybe how close it was to happening. Some people I was listening to the radio this morning, think that he was pitting all these schools up against each other, trying to get the highest bidder. I don't know the answer to that. My personal opinion is he said, "Hey, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go to Penn State so I can play Ohio State quite often and put it to him." Because he's probably the best defense coordinator out there in college football currently. And I think he's going to be great. What's that?
In history.
What's that?
He's the highest paid college assistant in history.
For sure. And he's from that area. I don't know how much of a draw that is. Some people it is, some people it's not. But I just know, you know, his side, his camp saying one thing, and then you read social media, people don't believe this and that, which who cares what they believe or not. I tend to side on this one, on this side. I think he was probably not treated as properly as he probably should have. I'm not a big fan of Ryan Day. That's just me. He won a title, good for him, but I just think he's kind of a little bit sneaky, if you ask me. I don't know. Again, I don't know him, but I just don't think he's that honest of a guy, just from watching him.
Admire any.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. So, but anyway, that's that's some stuff there we want to kind of cover. I know there, and I know a buddy of mine lived in Columbus, Ohio for several years and moved back just recently and said that place is absolutely insane about football because he's from Oklahoma, and he said it's not even close how much different it is up there to here. You think OU fans are crazy. He goes, he didn't mean crazy like fan base, but just really into it. And,
Intense.
You get people that are making threats and doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's football. People have their opinions. People things happen. Knock that kind of garbage off because that doesn't make any sense. But that is an interesting thought there. Let's transition a little bit, shall we? It's like I think the last time we had the podcast a couple weeks ago, I know we had not played Cleveland yet, and then so we went into Cleveland and got beat up on. And I know Hardenstein was by himself as a big man, and they kind of put it to us. Then I believe it was a week later we played here, and he was out. And I was like, "There's no shot." In my opinion, I thought there's no shot we're gonna be able to win this thing. I know Amy and Callie went to the game and had a fantastic time, but I mean we beat him, and it was never even really close. I mean they smoked him, played well, and now I mean I know they played last night and they won. I believe that. Let's see. I had the record up just a second ago. I want to say 30. Dadgummit, I just had it up. Let's see here. Schedule. I know they've lost 8 games. I want to say 37-8, but I'm not 100% about that. But it's an incredible team. Yeah, 37-8, first place still with all this craziness going on. I know in the past couple of weeks, I know Shea hit his record 54 points a few days ago. Was that against Utah? Do you remember?
Yeah.
Do you remember? Yeah. So anyway, so here's my question. Okay, so they're 31-4 with Chet or Isaiah Hardenstein in the lineup. All right, which they have not played together yet, and Chet's still hurt. Hardenstein just came back yesterday, so they're 31-4 with and 6-4 without. That just shows you when you hear those kind of numbers, what are you thinking about this team? I need those guys in.
I mean, we're really good, but we definitely need big men. Like when you lose both your main big men, you're going to take a hit. But when those guys are in, like I can't wait to see them together. I know it's going to be beautiful.
Well, to me, I think we can beat just about all but about 6 or 7 teams without them.
Yeah,
and so we can still survive without the 2 big guys. And we won a few games without them, like Cleveland. But, I went to the Mavs Thunder game, didn't have either one of them. They didn't have Luka, and they didn't have Lively, and still beat us.
Yeah.
And but Gafford and Dinwiddie just tore us up. And so you get in a 7-game series and you don't have those guys, you're not going to win.
No.
But, like Kellen said, get them both in there together. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, in a 7-game series, I like our chances. I really, really do. I don't get. Here's what's crazy is we played. I think we're 3-1 against Dallas, or 1-3 against Dallas this year, and a couple times they didn't even have Luka in there, and we still got beat. I mean, and I believe one of those maybe Shea didn't play either, but I mean they played a few nights ago and beat us again. It's just I can't stand Dallas. That's just me. Not a fan at all. Wish I wasn't a fan of the football team, but for whatever reason I am. But what are your thoughts on that? Do you think we're still going to be able to match up well, hypothetically, knock on wood, because in the playoffs? Because I know they seem to have our number. They beat us last year in the playoffs and 3-1 against us this year, but then has been without majority of our stars.
I mean, I think if everybody's healthy, or at least if we have one of those big men, I think when it counts, I think we'll be fine. They always play well against us, and some of those guys really light it up when we play them. But I think we just have a better, well-rounded team, and if both those guys are ready, I mean, the depth that we have, they won't be able to keep up.
Sure.
Yeah, because even the other night, Lou Dortz in the game, he got ejected. Didn't have Isaiah Joe. Didn't have the two big guys. So, granted, they didn't have Doncic, but Kyrie Irving, man, he's playing good right now.
Yeah.
And Lively, I think we'll be good against Dallas to answer that question. I think Lively's out for the year for the most part, so we should fare well against them moving forward. I don't think we play him again though the rest of the year.
No, we're done with them. Yeah, that's already done, which is weird. It's only not even the end of January.
Yeah,
and we're done with playing them for the year unless we make the playoffs.
Don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, I prefer not to see him again. I just don't like him, but
yeah.
I know Chet will be back at some point. I'm hoping because it's coming up on that time frame. But last I thought, they said that it was going to be a certain time frame, and then they would reevaluate where he would be. So I hear a lot of folks expecting him back around the first part of March. Would love that if that were the case and get him going.
Show up February 28th, please.
Is that the game? Is that what the date is? Yeah. Kellen will be at Atlanta. He lives in Atlanta, so he'll be at the Thunder game. That'd be fantastic. But Hartenstein is – what's amazing to me is you've got a guy like Sam Presti who just knows stuff, very smart about it, and then pieced together a team. And, a lot of people were, and me included, were yelling last year, hey, you got to make a deal, you got to make a trade, you got to do it at a trade deadline, whatever. And I think that he was looking to see how far this team could actually go with the current roster they had last year. And he may have been trying to make some deals too and just didn't work out, right? And then just seeing how Hardenstein's in, and then it's like, okay, then you keep hearing, okay, could they make one more move with some players? And I don't know what that would be. I have no idea, but this team gels together. They work well together, and it's defensive oriented. And you got to be able to shoot the ball. You got to have all these kind of different players that can play. And then I think that, we've talked about before, once playoffs hits, it'll probably hit more towards an 8-man rotation, maybe 9, unless it's a blowout. But it'll be interesting to see. I can't wait till my man Chet gets back. Anyone else? So yeah, this next week, I know we looks like we're going to be playing Golden State at Golden State. Then we'll play Sacramento on Saturday, and then Milwaukee on next Monday. So hopefully we'll have a huge 3 extra wins by the time we speak next week. All right, here we go. Let's talk some NFL playoffs. Here's what's amazing. Kellen, you remember at the beginning of the year, I picked Philadelphia and Kansas City in the finals, and I said Kansas City was going to win it all. And as of right now, I still say the exact same thing.
Do you remember that, Kellen? Is he lying?
I went back and looked. Yeah, he's telling the truth. I thought it was going to be
2 years in a row.
Baltimore and Detroit.
I got both of them correct. Like last year, I said Kansas City and San Francisco, and I got both of them right. Unfortunately, I got them right. Because here's the thing. Like, I'm not a Chiefs fan, and I really don't like the Eagles. I don't like them at all. And you're talking about the only good thing is something Clay brought up a minute ago with both these teams. There's some OU players to play on these teams, right? So that's pretty. You got Jalen Hurts,
players, I believe.
Yeah, you got Creed Humphreys. You got some, all these players that play. I'm just naming the quote unquote stars, but whatever. But anyway, I'm just not a fan, and I want to. I don't want to watch the Super Bowl, but I'm going to watch the Super Bowl. What are your all's thoughts?
If it's not the Cowboys, then I don't get too fired up about it. Just whatever. I just hope I always just now. And I know this sounds like an old man. Please be a good game so I have something to watch in the fourth quarter.
No, yeah, you're right.
In the last few years, it seems like they have been pretty decent games, so that's made it fun. But I am going to be watching the Sooners out there. Jalen, I went to high school with Creed Humphrey's dad, so love him. And
was his dad as big a boy as Creed is?
Not that big, but he was big.
Yeah. What did he play in football? Do you remember?
He didn't play football.
Did he not?
No, we played together in 9th grade, and then he just went wrestling. He was big time wrestler.
Okay.
And
Shawnee was good at wrestling, I remember.
Yeah, Creed's older brother is a big time wrestler too, and I think Creed wrestled, but I could be wrong, but I think he didn't wrestle his senior year because he went to OU early.
Okay.
But I know they were all wrestling. Chad was a national champion in college at UCO, the dad.
Interesting.
And but he was big, but he wasn't big like that.
Right.
And then their mom is about 5'3", maybe 5'2".
Yeah.
She's a little bitty thing.
And they still live in Shawnee?
Yeah, I heard they were moving, but I'm not sure for sure.
Gotcha.
But
I know you saw him at an OU game or something years ago.
Yeah,
You telling me?
Yeah, we've texted a few times. I saw his parents at a middle school basketball game one time, and
It's pretty
went
cool.
to high school with his little brother too, and so we just all know each other. So I've never actually met Creed in my life, but I know.
But you're a fan.
I'm a fan, and then you got Samaje who had a big catch last night.
Winchester still there? The Winchester?
Winchester's still the deep snapper. You got Lane Johnson that plays for the Eagles on the line too. You got Wanye Morris who's a backup lineman for the Chiefs. Yeah. Seems like there's a couple more I may be missing, but
it's
Marquise
crazy,
Brown,
man.
Hollywood Brown plays for him.
Yeah, for sure. Well, Kellen, does any of that make you like the Chiefs a little bit?
No. Hey, what's crazy though? 5 years ago, I hated the Eagles, but I just like I'm rooting for Jalen Hurts. So and also I love Saquon. He's the best player in the NFL.
He's really good.
Like, I don't know. It's between I kept going back and forth during the playoffs between, like, Gibbs was making a show, and I was like, Gibbs might be the best running back in the NFL. He's just been overshadowed by having Montgomery on his team. But then it's like yesterday, you see Saquon take that first snap and run it for 60 yards or whatever, 40. I don't remember what it was, but it was like, and he's breaking tackles along the way. It's like, this guy is just ridiculous if he's healthy.
Yeah.
So yeah, but no, I hate the Chiefs.
This kind of game is just it's the lesser of two evils. Like, here's a question I got for both of you, because there's a lot of there's talk, like, because a lot of people don't like the Chiefs, and then a lot of people didn't like the Patriots. Who do you think was more despised, Patriots or the Chiefs?
Chiefs, because people still respected Tom Brady. We hated him, but like, man, this guy, he's incredible.
Yeah,
and I respect Mahomes. I think he's incredible, but he gets the refs' help a lot. And I'm like, he doesn't need the refs' help. He is already the best quarterback in the NFL.
Yeah. Stop
helping him.
Clay, what do you think?
I'll just be honest with you. I never really understand why people don't like, and I'm not saying you guys, but why they don't like them just because they win all the time.
That's why.
That's Patriots. Why. I know, but why?
Mine's rooted deeper than that.
Here's the thing:
Tom Brady got all the calls too. Whenever he was,
you're exactly right. You're 100% right. Like, I just
protected and blah 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 and just everything. And I was just like, okay.
I think it's just the fact that you get the same team winning it. It's nice to see something different every once in a while. And I've heard people say they're lucky teams. These are good football teams. They're very sound fundamentally. They rarely make mistakes. That's you want to make sure you don't do as a football team. And I can't stand it. I wish it was Dallas. Dallas stinks. Dallas, I don't know. I truly don't know when I can't say we'll never, but I don't know when anytime soon the Dallas Cowboys will be in the Super Bowl, let alone win the Super Bowl or even an NFC Championship game. But the thing is, like, I just don't care. I want to see some different teams. Like, I would love to see Buffalo. I personally don't think the whole thing's rigged. I think it's, I think, like, the NFL, do you honestly think if the Chiefs were out of it and Buffalo were in it, that less people would watch? I don't think so. I think a lot of people would want, because they'd be. There's a lot of people that have the Chiefs hangover. They're tired of it. And that's one. I am too. Am I jealous? Maybe a little jealous. I don't know. I'm more just like I'm envious because I want Dallas to be that way. And They don't. You look at these two franchises; they're two of the best ran franchises in the NFL, along with Baltimore, who's another fantastic franchise that's ran. So, anyway, what do you, Kellen? What else you got for that?
Well, mine's deeper than just them winning every year. Like when you live in Missouri, nobody was a Chiefs fan. Nobody paid any attention. Everybody was St. Louis Cardinal fans. That's it. Then all of a sudden, everybody in Missouri is a fan of the Golden State Warriors, the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, all of a sudden, people are fans of Mizzou. In my 15 years living there, never met a single fan of Mizzou.
I agree with that.
Everyone there just jumps on the hot team, and they just got lucky. If when I meet Chiefs fans that can name even just the quarterback before Patrick Mahomes, like these guys don't remember Jamal Charles. If you ask them their three favorite players, they say, "Oh, it's Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, and Tyreek Hill." Half of them don't even know still that Tyreek Hill is not there. They don't know anything about football. They just jump on whoever's hot. Everybody's switching between their Warriors and their Chiefs jerseys every day, and I just don't respect that.
Clay, you got any rebuttal?
No, it's I've never lived in Missouri, but it's kind of like my era when we were growing up. Everybody loved the Chicago Bulls, and nobody likes the Chicago Bulls anymore. I mean, just because they were so good. So everybody's like, "Oh yeah, I get the Bulls jerseys and Air Jordans and everything." It's just that will never go away. Just and I hope that we start seeing all these kids in Kansas City, since they don't got a basketball team, are just massive Thunders fan now because they love SGA. If they start winning it all the time.
True.
That's just the weird stuff that's going to happen. People are going to like LeBron because he's on TV all the time, but they don't really. They probably couldn't name one starter for the Lakers, but him.
When we were kids, there were a lot of Pittsburgh Steelers and Dallas Cowboy fans.
Yeah.
And now that you can, but a lot of it was regionally. Which it still is today if you don't have a cable or whatever, which most people do. But what I mean by that is, even Pittsburgh was still on like 3 Monday night games a year, on top of a special, I don't want to say special broadcast, but the game of the week type of thing. So they were probably on TV at least 8 times out of the 16 games back in the day, minimum.
It was much harder to watch other teams because you had your noon and 3 games and Monday night, and that was it.
Yeah, there was no Thursday night football.
We're always one of the 3.
Yeah, I agree 100%. So that was simpler time back then, if you ask me, but it was fun. But yeah, Chiefs, we'll talk more about it for those that are going to be on the call or podcast next week, more about the Super Bowl. But let's move on to my famous questions. All right, here's what I'm going to have you guys do. I'm going to have you rank these quarterbacks blindly from 1 to 5. You don't know who's coming next. Whoops.
Did you drop your
anyway, moving
saucer?
Yeah, I just hope that's not dinner. That's what I'm hoping. But
that was downstairs.
So number 1 through 5, rank the quarterbacks blind without knowing who comes next. So Josh Allen, 1 through 5.
Are these current quarterbacks or all-time quarterbacks?
No, they're current quarterbacks. Yeah,
2.
I'm going to go with 3.
Baker Mayfield,
3.
5.
Lamar Jackson,
1.
2.
Jared Goff,
5.
4.
Maybe 10.
and then Joe Burrow.
4.
Yes, I got 1. That's one left.
Oh, I wanted to, because none of them won a Super Bowl, so I wanted to see what your all thoughts were on those 5. Is there any of them you would change now that you know?
I'd swap Burrow and Baker, but other than that.
Yeah. Clay, what'd you say?
I'd swap Jackson and Burrow, but I think I'd keep the rest the same.
Okay. All right, and then the last question. There's 4 different things I'm going to say. How many years are you going without this? Okay, it's either going to be 6 years, 12 years, 18 years, or 24 years. How many years are you going, and you can only pick once, like, the 6, the 12, 18, 24.
We can only pick
How many years are you going without? What's that?
We can only pick each number once?
Right.
Okay.
Between no internet, no air conditioning, no sports, or no TV movies. Like what would be your 6 years that you
Give me the time frames again.
the time 6, 12, 18, 24 years. And then it's no internet, no air conditioning, no sports, or no TV/movies.
Can I move to somewhere a little cooler for the air conditioning?
I guess, sure. But act like no.
All right, hang on. Sports, internet, air
Internet.
conditioning. What's the other one?
TV/movies.
Oh, those all suck.
See, I think I could go 24 years without TV or movies.
No, I'm doing sports because I think I'll add 24 years to my life by not watching it and getting all stressed out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Getting all stressed.
Clay, what do you think?
I'm only 24. I'm going to go 24 years on the movies.
Okay.
TV.
What about 18 years? What would you go between no internet, no air conditioning, no sports?
And I assume by the internet we can't watch sports and TV on the internet.
Correct. That is correct.
So what do I need the internet for? Put it at
Yeah.
18.
Look on Google. Do our podcast. I don't know.
Nah. 18's internet.
18 would be internet for me as well.
I'm going to go AC.
You're going to go what?
AC, air conditioning.
No shit.
Did you say air conditioning?
Yeah.
There's no shot.
Hey.
All right. All right. So then what would you guys do for like 12 years or 6 years? Huh?
The thing is with air conditioning, not 8 to 9 months of the year, you may not even need it.
Perhaps, but
You
those
guys
3
live in
months
Oklahoma.
are pretty
3
bad.
months would be brutal.
You might
What
not
about
survive.
what next? So what would you do? What would be 12 years for you?
Internet.
I guess TV.
It'd be no air conditioning for me. Because for me, 6 years is all I could do without sports. I couldn't do without. I couldn't do without sports.
I'm doing AC 6. I drove without an AC in my car for 4 years, and that was bad enough. I can't imagine having no AC in the house.
I'd say.
Can you imagine?
Sports. Yeah. This would be a lot more fun if it was only like weeks and not years. Like 24 weeks.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, I think I'd be a happier dude if I didn't watch sports for 24 years.
24 years, I will probably be dead.
I hope I'm not. But yeah,
For me.
it would be.
Yeah.
But it would
With
be
24
interesting.
years of no AC, you probably will.
That would be interesting though to have no stress for that many years. But I mean, the thing is, you're a Dallas Cowboy fan. It's not really. It's been a while, a real minute since I've had any stress in a Dallas game. Really has. Oh,
Yeah,
there's
but
been
think about
there's been
Oklahoma.
some
Every year.
Huh?
Every
What's
year
that?
we drink the Kool-Aid on Oklahoma.
Oh yes, every year. Every year.
And
But
then it's like even the Cavs and Thunder game, it was 12-12, and I was like, this is going to be a long day. Then it ended up being like 40-14. I was like, all right, it's fine now. But at 12-12, I was like, holy crap.
It gets crazy. But the older I get, the more I want to see a championship this year. So anyway, hey, the Foxx Den Sports Podcast would like to thank everyone for listening to our podcast. Appreciate it. We know you got a lot of things going on. We need you people out there to stop being crazy about Jim Knowles. Stop hating on people that are giving you the real story. But hey, stop. Just relax. All I know is iron sharpens iron. Please stay safe, be savage and not average, and remember to join the skulk. And of course, Kellen, what else do we have?
Stay thirsty, my friends.
That's right. Stay thirsty. For Clay McDonald, Kellen Foxx, I'm Todd Foxx, and we'll see you next time. Goodbye, everybody. Boomer.
Thank you for listening to the Foxx Den Sports Podcast. Be sure to subscribe for free to our YouTube channel, Foxx Den Sports. And also follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Foxx Den Sports and on Facebook at Foxx Den Sports Podcast. You can also email us at foxdensports@yahoo.com. This has been Foxx Den Sports.